In this video, I discuss how to boost your net worth after retirement. Coming up next on Holy Schmidt.
Holy Schmidt!
Building your assets, your 401k, your IRA, savings, retirement income of all sorts, doesn't take a lot of math. In fact, the math is pretty basic. It's simple: money in, money out. If you have $100 coming in and you have $98 going out, you are net positive $2. If you have $98 coming in and you have $100 going out, you're net negative $2. This simple concept around money math, has been around since Babylon. Now, many of you are saying, good one, Einstein, but you'd be shocked at how many people will keep a balance on their credit card, which charges 20–25% sometimes, and contribute to a 401k in a more risk-averse fashion, meaning 4 to 6%. This happens month after month, year after year, and the fact is, that is very much like receiving $98 in income and paying out $100 in expenses. There is no long-term scenario where that ends well. So let's get into how you actually boost your net worth after retirement. But before we do, please make sure you click the like button. YouTube uses the number of likes as its algorithm to recommend a video, and I want to help as many people as possible. All right, let's get into it. Step 1, get all of the free stuff that you are entitled to. At age 65, a whole new world of free or drastically reduced stuff is available to you. Let me explain. First of all, Medicare and Medicare-related savings, medicines, annual wellness checkups, flu vaccines, screenings. The list is quite long, so make sure you know everything that is due to you that's free or drastically reduced, and make sure that you don't pay for it. There are also tax deductions and tax credits that are available to many retirees. Make sure you talk to your tax accountant on this point. By the way, on the subject of taxes, many towns will give you reduced taxes if you're in retirement. Why? Because you're not utilizing one of the most basic features of the municipality, and that is the schooling that's available to kids. Point 2 in increasing your net worth is asking who owns this expense. Often during your adult life, you pick up costs that might not necessarily belong to you. At age 45, it's probably okay to pick up costs that somebody else is trying to push your way occasionally. Somebody who happens to leave their wallet in the car when it's time to pay for dinner is a classic example. I'm sure you've seen it. I certainly have. Then there are the things that you pay for when you're children or kids that you wouldn't necessarily pay for when they're adults. Dance classes, tennis lessons, you name it. People have expected you to pay for things your entire adult life up until age 65. Now it's your turn to draw the line in the sand and say, whose expense is this? Point number 3 is turning your hobby into a money machine. We talked about money in. This is that. This is really exciting. It is one of the easiest ways to boost your retirement net worth. It has the added benefit of taking up your time during your days so that you're not spending money during that time. You're in fact making money during that time. Let's say one of your hobbies was model building. There are a lot of people out there who will pay for a finished product, especially if you're excellent at your craft. Show me an expensive beach house on the water with a Yankee Clipper sailboat in the window, and I'll show you someone at least 50% of the time who paid somebody else to build that model for them. Let's say your hobby is gardening. Why not grow a small forest of variegated philodendron minima? These plants require time, special cutting, rooting, and lighting, but they sell for up to $20,000 a piece. The average person out there wouldn't take the time to learn how to grow variegated philodendron minima because they would only do it one time. But if you have lots of time and this is an interesting hobby for you, it could be quite profitable. Point 4 is reducing your interest costs on the debt that you do have outstanding. And I will tell you, no one will call you up and tell you you're paying them too much interest. You have to look at where the market is for things like your credit card debt, if you have credit card debt, your mortgage, if you have a mortgage, and reduce the costs by reducing the interest. If you make the same payment with a reduced interest expense, it either builds equity in your home if you're talking about a mortgage, or it pays off your credit card faster if you're talking about consumer debt. Point 5 is arbitrage. Now, if you don't know what arbitrage is, it's looking at two things and putting them together to get more value than those things are worth on their own. In this case, what you're going to arbitrage is your time. Many of you have heard the saying, you can have it cheap, you can have it fast, or you can have it nice. Pick two. Basically, for someone in retirement, this means that you can purchase something for less money, even a lot less money, if you're willing to put the time and work into getting it for less money. I'll use an example from a recent purchase of mine. I bought a pre-owned car from a dealership because I had a limited amount of time. But if you have a lot of time, don't buy it from a dealership, buy it from an owner and pay wholesale for that car instead of retail. You'll have to have it professionally checked out at a service station. You'll have to do a search to see if the car has ever been in an accident, and you will undoubtedly have to go see the car in person. That may not be close, all of which requires time, but in return, you'll get your car for wholesale or closer to wholesale than you would at a dealership. Step 6 is setting up a budget. I know this is an obvious one for many people, but virtually everyone in retirement has some form of a budget. And most people not in retirement also have some form of a budget. Warren Buffett lives in the same house that he purchased in 1958, that he purchased for $31,500. This is his primary residence. Today, his primary residence is worth over $1 million, but Warren Buffett is worth over $100 billion, so he could afford to upgrade at any time. He just chose not to do it. He eats a McDonald's Egg McMuffin or Sausage McMuffin sandwich most mornings. In fact, he uses coupons part of the time to pay for his breakfast meal. He'll buy his car slightly used much of the time. An example he uses is recently he purchased a car that had been in a hailstorm. And it was pretty easy to fix the damage, but it discounted the value of the car significantly. Step 7, show versus go. Now, what does that mean? It means understanding the difference between a good-looking credit card and one that has great benefits. We've all heard of reward credit cards. The fact is, many people, a lot of people use credit cards. If you're one of them, make sure you pay off your credit card at the end of every month, of course, but you should also choose one that provides you with the best rewards for what you want. Credit card companies spend a lot of time and money trying to get you to use their credit card. Why? Because they get fees on the charges that you make and interest on the balances that you leave on the credit card. Big interest. Now, assuming that you pay off your credit card every month and you know that you need to pay off your credit card every month, it all comes down to the benefits that the credit card company provides to you. Let me explain. Before I do, I'm going to show you a credit card that I personally use. I'm including no links to this credit card in the video or in the description because I want you to know that this is not about me getting affiliate income. It's about me showing you what I use and why I use it so you can think the same way. This is the Capital One Saver One credit card. It's not particularly good looking, but it packs a wallop in terms of its benefits. This card gives me 3% back on all food purchases at a grocery store, at a restaurant, at an ice cream store, Ben & Jerry's, I get 3% back. And the best part is that there's no limit. Oftentimes you'll see these cards that will pay 5% back, 10% back, etc., but they have a cap. The reality is, if you have a cap, you're going to hit that cap pretty quickly. That's why they put a cap in there, especially when you go above about 3 or 4%, because the fee that they're charging the business can't be much more than that. Otherwise, the business just wouldn't use that type of credit card. Is it fire engine red, black, platinum colored? Is it made of metal? No, but that's okay. I don't mind. Now that you've done all of that, you need to do something with your money. To be frank, a lot of people will go through points 1 through 8 and they'll feel satisfied at the end. But what separates the white belts from the black belts is that the black belts then take that money and they do something with it. So for you, I want you to be the sensei. Be the master at this. In order to do this, once you've determined how much you've saved, and you should be doing this every month, on the same day, every month, sweep the funds into a wealth account. Now, what is a wealth account? Well, it's different for different people. If you have a mortgage, it might be your mortgage. You might want to pay off more of your mortgage than you normally would. If you have no mortgage, it might be a brokerage account where you buy mutual funds, stocks or bonds. If you don't want to put it into a brokerage account, maybe you want to put it in a savings account. It's different for everybody, but the black belt sweeps it into the other account. No pun intended. Do this and you'll be well on your way to building your net worth in retirement. If you like this video, please make sure you click subscribe and notifications so that you get alerted the next time I post a video. Retirement information is changing fast, and I work very hard to get what's out there and here for you. This is Jeff Schmidt. Thanks for watching.